I wanna start from the top, maybe like a do-over. Replace the voices in my head with blind innocence.
I remember when I first got the internet and I started to open myself to new ideas and really see what the world had to offer. And I remember finding this one thing that was interesting to me, so I spent all my free time into Googling this, into doing more research on this. After a few months, I put it away and I said, eh, it's interesting, but doesn't really pertain to me anymore. Fast forward a couple years to high school, where everything is open to scrutiny. And my sexuality was the topic of conversation for a long time, or at least within my group of friends it was. And even outside, even some people who I didn't really know were still talking about it. Everyone thought that I was gay simply because of the way I acted, the way I put myself out there. But I knew that I wasn't gay. I liked girls, yet I could never call myself straight. It just never sat right with me. When people would ask me, and they did, I never had an honest answer for them. But I could say I wasn't straight and I wasn't gay. People still ask me to this day what my sexuality is. And to be honest, I've found a label or two that kind of fit, but human sexuality is such a complex thing that changes as you grow, and well, I certainly have grown and I will continue to grow, and my sexuality label will probably change as I grow and learn more. The important thing is, though, that I'm comfortable in myself and I know myself even if I can't express it to other people. I know what I feel. And if it doesn't immediately pertain to you, don't worry about it. There is something other than sexuality, though. Something completely unrelated, yet equally as complexing for me. The past couple years, like most teenagers, has been important to me figuring out who I am as a person and what I'm comfortable with. And that's really given me a chance to go out there and try new things and see how it feels. And this was important to me because I never felt like me. When I was looking in the mirror growing up, I never saw myself looking back at me. It was always someone else, someone I didn't recognize. All through high school, all 4 years, I would stand in the bathroom looking at myself in the mirror, trying to find something that looked like me, just standing there for upwards of an hour every night. And I never found it. And then that nagging feeling from middle school me would come up again and again. I didn't see myself in the mirror. I wasn't living my life. I was living somebody else's. Well, I finally put together what I believe to be all of the pieces. And you know how when you're working on a puzzle, you work on such a small part and you lose sight of the big picture? Well, I'd been doing that with my life. I'd been looking at a small aspect of who I was, and I never found what I was as a whole. And now I'm finally putting everything together, and for the first time in my life, I can finally say, I think I know what that full picture is. And wow, is that relieving. Now, if you've made it this far, you've committed, and I thank you for that. As for what this all means, I'm getting to that, but let me preface this by saying this one thing, please. For once in my life, I'm comfortable with who I am. For the first time, I feel like I have an actual chance of living my actual life, and nothing's gonna stand in my way. Nothing that you can say or do is gonna change anything. This is me, and I'm not going to be silenced. So if you have a problem, let's talk about it. Honestly, that's all I want. If I can change your mind and have a positive impact on you, that's all I want. But if this doesn't change anything, I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry that this being a personal issue, that this being someone that you know and affects, doesn't change anything for you. I'm sorry. But if you're gonna be here to cause problems just for problem's sake, leave. There's the door. I can do better and I deserve better. That said, those who do stay, I thank you. I thank you for being supportive and being my friends and my family. That thing that middle school me found, that thing that kept coming back over and over, was something so deeply personal that I finally feel that I can share and that I can be open about it. I'm transgender. I'm a girl. Yeah, me. Transgender refers to someone whose gender identity is something other than what they were assigned at birth. And yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Wow. I'm currently in the process of getting the medical care that I need to begin the transition to becoming who I really am. And it just feels so right. It feels so natural and so freeing. And I'm proud of who I am and what I've accomplished and what I will accomplish. Given everything that's going on right now with transgender people and transgender rights, it may not exactly be the safest time for someone like myself to come out. So please don't tell me that this is my choice. If this is my choice, yeah, I wouldn't have chosen this. Are you kidding me? I don't want to become a statistic. I don't want to be a part of the 13% increase in hate crimes against transgender people in the last year alone. I don't want to walk into a bathroom and find someone threatening my life just for going pee. So please don't berate me and tell me that this is my choice, that I'm only coming out because it's the trendy thing to do right now. There's nothing trendy about death threats and fear. There's nothing trendy about your people being a part of the group that was the direct target of the largest mass shooting in US history. I'm not coming out because it's the cool thing to do. I'm coming out because I can't stand to live another day of my life as something I'm not. And most importantly, I'm not coming out. I'm letting everyone else into my life and my true self. After what happened in Orlando, I couldn't stop thinking about it. It's easy to ignore the small hate. It's easy to live your life day to day thinking that, oh, that won't happen to us. But when you realize that you're part of the group that was the direct target of the largest assault on US soil since 9/11, that becomes a lot more real. All my closest friends, everyone who helped me survive up until this point, is part of the LGBTQIA plus community in some way or another. To think that all of those friends who I consider family are not safe is terrifying. My anxiety has not been kind to me. I keep thinking like that this could be them, that this could be me, this could be us. This is not over. This is not a one-time thing. The systematic hatred and discrimination against people in this community is far from over. And I'm scared. I'm scared that one day I'll wake up, check my phone or check my Facebook, and find that one of my friends is dead. Or that they wake up and find out that I'm dead. I'm afraid that simply by having the guts to say that we exist could cause us our lives. It's easy to ignore the small hate, but when it builds up and builds up, it creates big hate, and big hate is not so easy to ignore. Yet somehow America and the rest of the world manages it every single day. Hopefully by coming out and letting other people in, I can have an effect on someone, anyone. If me coming out and letting other people in starts a conversation, I'll be happy. I've already had an impact on some who, prior to myself, had had no exposure to this community on a personal level. Exposure matters. Exposure leads to discussion, which can lead to acceptance, which can lead to love. And after that person has been exposed, it creates a spiderweb effect. They go on living their lives, exposing all of those around them, and so on and so forth. And that's what we need. If we don't want to live in a world of hatred, exposure matters. And so I'm coming out, speaking out, starting the conversation, and letting other people in. Because I can't live another day of my life as something that I'm not. I can't live another day as my brothers and sisters in this community are living in fear just for being who they are. And lastly, I cannot live another day without screaming to the entire world who I am. This is me. This is personal. And I am transgender and proud.
Hey you, what's with those eyes? What you been thinking?